I think that's working. Hopefully I wasn't coughing while streaming already. Um, cool. So, welcome to another live. And we've been building that AI thing. So this is like a simple email assistant, but instead of having to connect your email, you just send whatever email you forward to an address, and then it sends you a reply. So if you have some attachments, for example, you received some contracts or whatever you want to ask a question about that, or you want to continue a conversation, emails are threaded. So you simply send email to one place and you get an answer. So it's the simplest possible assistant I can think of, and it's a universal interface, works for everyone. And also will have some side effects, not yet, but at some point it will have some interesting side effects where you can have emails where multiple people are participating. So that's going to be interesting. I will also want to have maybe some level of memory in the future, so you will remember things if you want to. I still don't know how we would go about turning on and off memory from emails, but we'll see. Okay, so today is going to be interesting, so I'm excited. Let's see how that goes. I may have panicked a little bit. So last time we were doing some planning, then we were doing some project like reshuffling, and I was getting a bit bored myself. So I can only imagine others. And after the planning, I realized that we can't take 6 sessions to just get something that people can use. So I'm going to attempt something that hopefully means that next session we will get something running. And so we're going to be doing today and maybe either Thursday, or actually Thursday I might do another one of those random experiments, which is related to to this in a second. And and then either way, if not Thursday, it will be next Tuesday. So the idea is to have next Tuesday something running, and I think we're going to pick Cloudflare. And yeah, it seems to be pretty good. So for what we want, might be ideal with the workers. Okay, so I'm sorry. Somehow my throat is again scratchy. On Friday, I decided to do not a live hack, but I had an idea in my mind. I just wanted something. So I wanted to come up with a better plan for growing the channel as well. I've been doing a few more shorts from either like after the lives or from clips. I'm not sure if that's working well or not, but some of them seem to work, but I don't know. Anyway, I've been trying to decide a few things, and also I was brainstorming how to speed up the development of the project. And I was a bit unhappy that I was just taking me forever to brainstorm. And then I thought, like, there's some steps of the brainstorming that I actually don't care. Like, the initial brainstorm that I do with either ChatGPT or Claude is mostly me, like, both defining what I'm trying to think through, asking questions to each other, making sure that we're not missing something. So I thought, okay, what if I created a debate machine? I posed my problem as a question, and then I just let like a few different personalities argue over this. So I created this service, argumentative system service. So there's, I think, in my opinion, 2 interesting things about it. Well, first is that it does work, and I'm actually getting good answers out of this. So yeah, I have a video somewhere you can check on the profile, one of the shorts that shows a little bit of the output of this. But the first question I asked was also, what is going to be the future of software engineers in a world where I can do this in a few minutes? Because this is the other interesting thing. I just used Claude Code. It was the first time that I seriously took something from scratch to do something, other than just running it to see how it works. And the experience was incredible, in my opinion. Like, smooth. The first attempt didn't quite do what I wanted, but then with some level of direction, and then I kind of I explained what I wanted, but also how I wanted the software to be designed so I could extend certain things. For example, I want to be able to create different personalities and set up the personalities with different models so that they catch on each other's biases a little bit. Yeah, worked quite well. So then my first question was, what's going to be the future of software engineers in a world where I can do this in 20 minutes? So that was interesting. And then it debated for 3 iterations on each personality. And then a judge comes in and looks at the discussion and comes with the final conclusion, which I found was interesting. So that one was just interesting. But then when I was looking at the growth of the channel, for example, I had, I think it was pretty good actually, because I was proposing doing a few more shorts as a way to fill in content in between the lives, and also to promote the lives and show a little bit what I do here. And I'm still going to continue doing that, but it did highlight something that I wouldn't have considered, and I feel I would not have asked either, because my assumption was that the views that go into shorts, I'm going to keep this short. Anyway, the views that go into shorts are good, and doesn't matter going into the details of growing the channel. The point is that it came up after arguing with itself. It highlighted the fact that I might be missing something about the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, that might pigeonhole my channel in a certain area, and then it's hard to come out. And I never thought about that, so that was interesting. Cool. So anyway, this is easy to use. You can download, clone, use it if you have your API keys. It's getting some stars, so that's good. I've put this on Reddit, and then it went, okay, I've got some interesting suggestions, so I might do either Thursday or Tuesday. I'm actually going to extend this to have something a bit more advanced, where each one of the personalities, I'm calling them personalities, some people call them agents, I just wanted to make stuff up, but some of the personalities, the personalities right now have go 3 times each, and they have like they take turns in the same order. And what I want to do is more of a consensus algorithm, so not necessarily like 100% consensus, but I want to attempt something that will continue going until some threshold of the discussion is met, or maybe some exploration. So I'm going to be transforming this into a voting mechanism instead of a judge, and we're going to have a few personalities that will argue, and then at the end of each round they vote on what they would consider the best arguments. They do the first system I'm going to try is the Australian preferred voting system or something. So each candidate will rank their favorite responses, and then you can put it in the system of, I mean, the rank just means that there's a certain order to it. So if one comes out second on every single candidate, then even if the first one keeps changing and like moving a lot, we have like some level of certainty that response is good. So that type of consensus, like based on some point system. So anyway, so we'll go more in detail then, but the idea is to get to a point where they can try and agree to thresholds, and then the judge comes in only after, once they made the decision, to then make the final answer, because it still wants to consider little bits of the response from each other, but should be weighted by the ones that have the highest score. So I thought this might be interesting, and maybe there's something there. So. And then maybe what we'll try to do is do that using Claude Code entirely, and then come up with some UI for it and launch it. So we'll see. So for today, I've been talking a lot already. For today, I want to try 2 things. So as I said, I panicked a little bit. I do not want, I want this project to go as fast as possible. This leads me to, I've been thinking a little bit about how to take it, and I was coding a lot myself, even though it was with Cursor. I was taking it step by step, and my experience with Claude Code is that actually, maybe that's misguided. Maybe we're already at the stage where we can let it go a bit longer. And it is true, code might not be the highest quality if you do that. You can ask it to refactor and stuff like that. But right now, I'm not going to say I'm already strong-minded on this, but right now my impression is that I'm going to be hated a little bit by some engineers on this, but I'm going to stand here until proven wrong. Code quality is useful because we have humans maintaining the code, right, over time, and we want projects to be maintainable over time and etc. and be fast. So Sometimes you are too fast in the beginning and then you slow down at the end. If we have AI systems that maybe understand code in a different way, if we have those, and those are the ones maintaining the code, my hypothesis is that we do not care about code quality in the same way, at least. What we care about is creating data, good data that represents states that we want to test, and good descriptions of requirements and edge cases and constraints of the system, and then be able to test using both the data and the constraints. And if you can do that and validate that the system is correct, it does not matter how it's being done under. And I know this is off-putting and it is kind of uncomfortable to me as well. But the way I've been thinking about this is, when I started coding, I was doing more games. It was still fairly popular to know assembly, or at least assembly-like languages, especially if you were doing shaders on GPUs and stuff like that. And but even like some optimizations, and even like lower level code was still pretty popular. And by lower level, I mean compared to Python. And today, like if you're coding even in C, you pretty much trust the compiler, right? So the compiler is still generating some code. It's just machine code or an executable. That's something that you wouldn't be reviewing and that don't need to make sense in the way that we see sense. But even if you then disassemble some of these things, the program doesn't necessarily need to be understandable by humans. And I would almost guarantee that if you were to go back in time and see people code in assembly, their assembly and the structure of the program would be much neater and much nicer, much more thought through than what compilers output these days. And a few reasons for that, but one is performance, also the fact that they're just solving a different problem. I feel like we're moving towards that world with just code in general. And it's possible that maybe there will be some interesting parts of it, but do you care if it is Python or not, if you're not maintaining it? So anyway, so currently I've been pondering about these things, and I think that's where we're going. If we're there or not already, I don't know. But today I'm going to assume we are, to at least a good extent. So I'm not going to replace Python, but I am going to take my hands off the wheel when it comes to coding a little bit more. So there's two things I want to check. One is Wordware, which I met one of the founders and CTO, and I got the demo. So nice person. So I like promoting products from nice people. And also, when I saw the product working, it was incredible. So it allows you to come up with fairly complex workflows. And I guess agents is the right name these days, but it's like prompts that you can edit as you would edit a Notion document. And it's very easy to link things together. And you can, you can have like really interesting workflows. And so this one, maybe I'll be able to use to build the entire application, although it connects to a bunch of apps, but does not connect to the one I want, Mailgun, or it is not in the way I want, which is to receive the emails. And we can use webhooks. We can use webhooks, but I feel like we may need a little bit more control there. So in the worst case scenario, we'll use it later from our Python scripts to trigger a workflow. We'll see. But even if we don't use for the main application, I'm a single developer. I want to maintain this and have good response, good support. So I think we're going to be automating the company as much as possible using this. So that's it. And then the other one is Claude Code. We're going to use it. I was trying to already go through the project that we have and just use Claude Code to retouch it, but I feel like if we go here, no, not this one. Yeah, we had kind of a mess going on already. And I kind of feel, yeah, my Vim is not set up properly. Okay. I feel like maybe we should start over and see how far we get. I'm happy to take these lives as totally experimental so that people can learn from this as well. But I will want to move faster with the camp. Let's get some stuff done. Okay, so best practices. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but they released the Claude Code, and the main points there is that we can customize it using cloud.md, and cloud.md is a special file that automatically pulls into the context when starting a conversation. This makes it ideal place for documenting. So common bash commands, core files and utility functions. Maybe we can also then pull the README if needed. Code style, guidelines, testing instructions, repository etiquette, so branching names, etc. Developer environment, so we're going to put UV there. Any unexpected behavior, so warnings, particularly to the project. Other information. Okay, so we're going to do that. So something like this. Okay. And then this plugs into what I was saying before. Our goal, we're going to plug into email, but our goal is to get as fast as possible to prove that something is working with the email, make some assumptions, and then create a test environment that Claude can itself use without having to go through setting up servers and stuff like that. Maybe let's attempt that, but maybe I can keep the server running with ngrok as we had and everything, and actually instruct Claude Code to send emails to a specific address to test it. That could be interesting, and to make sure that emails are received. The problem there is I actually don't know enough about emails to know if I can do that and then receive the email in a certain address or place. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is go to Claude. We'll need to upgrade soon as well. I also got the new Claude Voice today, so but not here. What are we doing? Can I send and receive emails from my local macOS from the command line to test something? Or maybe from Python? Okay. Okay, we'll get there. So it seems like we may be able to. Okay, so this is now all, consider this all outdated. Okay, next one. Can I use Claude Code to set up Cloudflare deployments and deploy? What happened there? Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Let me do this. Can I use Claude Code to set up and deploy Cloudflare workers? This is never going Claude. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, cool. So far, so good. So we're going to go level up. And now what we're going to do is to move this into backup. Okay. And we're going to put Claude Code here and manage the project inside. So Claude MD, that's the one. Claude MD the root of your repo. No, I don't like that. Okay, so oh. Okay. So far, so good. I feel like probably what I want to do. No. Sorry, I keep going back and forth. Okay. We don't have remotes actually. Okay, cool. There we go again. So, do we want to explain? Yeah, maybe we do. We're building a simple AI assistant that receives emails from Mailgun webhooks, processes them with AI, and then replies using Mailgun API. Okay. So now, actually, let's put this on the side here. No. Hopefully you can read this. Okay. This is too small. Maybe. Be sure to type check. Okay, so workflow. Actually, we'll edit this after. We're getting started, and you may have to set up some of the tools and code mentioned. Okay, so tech stack, we're going to use UV to manage the project. Code in Python. Whenever possible. Actually, code in Python, we're not going to do anything else yet. Wait a second. Just need to make sure this live is working. Okay. It is. Okay, let's continue. Okay, let's speed up. Okay, so we'll add details as we go. To manage and to manage and yeah, and run the project. Code in Python. What else? mailgun to manage the email events and replies. Any parent of the directory, any child. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Code style. Try to keep files short and expressive. Good naming, I guess. And then another thing we're going to do is, what is it? Yeah. More functional programming approach, unless it would have substantial performance impact. Okay. Testing. You may have to create some temporary test files to download or accept data from remote email servers, in this case Mailgun, and then save it to keep testing offline later. What's going on? I think for now that's it. So workflow, clarify requirements first. Don't make substantial assumptions. Can it search the web? Look at documentation when possible, when needed. Let's go with that. Okay, I feel like for now, let's see, what else do they recommend? We occasionally run files through the prompt improver. Yeah, cool. Can I do that myself? So, a common mistake is adding extensive content without iterating on its effectiveness. Okay, take time. Okay, so curates Claude's list of allowed tools. We're going to be setting permissions soon as we go. Give more tools for today. Not sure. For now, we don't need. Not for today. Use custom slash commands, not for today. Yeah, actually, one thing is commit on every step. Commits to Git. What else do we need? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Try common workflows. Doesn't impose a specific workflow. Explore, plan, code. Reuse code. Okay, and now what we're going to do as well. Refactor to reduce application and improve clarity or something. Yeah. Keep code simple. Okay. Code test. Okay, there we go. Okay, screenshot. It's going to be terminal only for now, so it should be fine. One thing we do want though, separate different components. Actually, sorry, let me use separate different components into different loggers so we can conditionally enable and disable loggers. Okay. Wait, I quit. Deploy. Okay, no, actually. Use Cloudflare stack for deployments and data, but keep the application testable offline. Okay. Optimize your workflow. Yeah, good point. Tests should be in a separate tests file from the project root. Actually, it's structure. The applications should be set up in with best Python practices for the application name folder. I'm not sure how to explain this. Okay. What else? If you need any tools, add them to a separate scripts file or commands. If you need any extra tools, add them to a separate scripts file or commands. Scripts folder. Folder. Okay. I think we probably have enough for now. So git work tree. That's going to be good, but not now. Okay, this is interesting. So have one Claude to verify and another one to code. You can do something similar with tests. Have one Claude write tests, then that's interesting. Okay, we'll continue on that later, and we'll try and figure out like best approaches. I think one of my goals now is to actually optimize the workflow to really learn how to work as well as possible with these types of systems and keep them testable. Okay, let's see. How can I set up good workflows for Claude Code to have one testing, one coding, and one criticizing the work automatically while watching for changes in the code? Okay, for now, let's leave it. Okay. Not sure how to set up that part. Yeah, actually. So, do not try to do all the steps in one go. Take turns. First the requirements, then the code, then the tests, then the refactor and validation. Okay, maybe for now this is enough. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is try and improve that. We can now use, yeah, I think actually, I'm going to be paying for this soon because I'm using quite a lot of money in Claude Code these days. It's the first time I feel like it's actually worth the extra price. Okay, so what can I do here? Doctor. Memory. Interesting. Migrate installer, model. Okay. Upgrade. Yeah, this would be interesting actually. Okay. Install. Yay. Okay. PR comments, permissions, model. That's fine. Okay. Manage ID integration. That's cool. So if I turn on cursor, I should say cursor here. No available. Ah, is it a plugin? Claude AI Assistant. Claude Code. Nope. Okay, for now we're going to stop it. Okay. Can you optimize? Can I reference files? Yeah, I can. That's cool. Ah. Yeah, I think I'm going to upgrade. I want to use the company card. So AI, email assistance, workflow. Okay. Okay. It's a bit better, I guess. Okay, let's go back. Upgrade. Okay, so I'm going to take this off the screen a little bit. I'm going to leave this here. Let's see what Opus can do. I hope I won't regret this. So we're setting up a lot of stuff, but I'm really keen that we're going to get this project going very fast after the initial setup. Yeah, I'm having trouble with the new iOS. No, stop it. Oh. let's see. Okay, just verifying this. Okay. Um, Almost there. Okay, in there. Processing payment. I think we're good. Yep. We already have this, right? Okay, so now status opens up to 20% of usage limits. Then, okay. Okay, cool. We're good to go now. Oh, this is concerning. Wow, the suggestions are also related to the project. Okay, cool. So, let's start by setting up the project for the tech stack we want. Ask me any questions you need. And let's not code yet, but we want to know where to place the application and have the structure in place and install any requirements. So, okay, so here is a plan. Update to-dos. So I'm thinking, like, while it runs, should we do something else? Like, for example, let's go create an account here. Get it for free. Okay, so a few questions to clarify. Python version 3.12 or yeah, no, 3.12. Actually, unless Mailgun doesn't support it. I think we're not installing an SDK, just calling HTTP. So I think we're an expert, right? Let's do it. Let's explore. So setting up. Okay, cool. So web framework. Good question. Fast API. Please update Claude. So we're going to use Anthropic Claude, but with Identic AI. Okay. Update Claude. Okay. No. So 3, local testing. 1, Docker Compose for webhook test. Okay. Use ngrok. Let's stay away from Docker unless you think it will help a lot later with Cloudflare. Okay. Next. We'll need to read attachments and we'll need threading as well, but likely not much more than that. So we're going to process incoming emails that we need to validate for some level of security and identification. We need to cross-reference the sender to one of our users, and then we process the email and send a reply to the same thread. Okay, hopefully this is good. It's definitely going through the requirements as we asked. So, okay, so create a project. Then we go to points, create a project. Testing email. That's cool. So we're going to add a trigger. Open. Wait, mail. Maybe there's another one. Unless all email marketing. No. Okay. It's mostly from a marketing perspective. So let's see what we get here. No. What other things do we get? No show. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. But not yet. Okay. So. Okay, so we can use the hashtag to memorize something. I might need to go soon, but yeah, now we're going to add a bunch of things automatically. I just make it auto accept everything. Cool, this is awesome. While this is going, one thing I like doing. Current events. What's happening? Parenting. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's go to the Discover. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be looking at news, to be honest. This is being very distracting lately. Okay. Yes, to ask again to UV.NET. So while this is happening, what we're going to do is just check okay. We already have a few things. Nothing. Kind of went ahead and created too much. Maybe I should have been explicit only when it is. Let's stand up and let's do 10 more minutes or something. Cool. So now I've been testing iOS, the new version, and the Android 16 as well. Let's see who wins on the AI side, UI side of things. I must say I'm undecided. I really like both, and I know Apple gets a lot of criticism, but I think they've done okay, and it's less broken than the previous actual use of not beta version. So that's interesting. But Google, I think this time is also doing pretty well. So even on an older phone, Pixel 7. Okay. Wow, what is going on there? Oh, it's a git ignore. Good that it is ignoring the .env as well, and we're going to pull the .env. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is actually to just go copy, copy .env. Actually, where is it putting the .envs? Is it in up? What? The main file. Why? Ah, it's the default one. Actually, one important thing is to yeah, why not? We can do Command R and see what's happening here. Okay, so it's going to summarize. And then next, what we want to do. So we've got these things, cool. We just see again, where's the .env? Ah. Yes, here. Okay, cool. So the next thing is add to an instruction to never ever disclose any API keys in the terminal because I'm streaming as I'm coding. Live on YouTube. Okay. So I keep forgetting the, yeah. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do, since we've already said that, is we're going to copy that to here. I've copied an older .env file that already has 2 API keys. And you may want to either rename or do whatever you need to make them valid without disclosing their content. Okay, and then we still need the signing key. Yeah, okay, so am I missing? No. Okay. I'm going to move this out in case it discloses some key. But we're going to try and get those details. Okay, actually, I'm going to put this here as well. Welcome API key, Anthropic API key. Okay, I need mailgun. Signing key. And mailgun domain. I know you can see that at the moment. Should be done soon. API security. Oops. And what else? Mailgun domain. I believe that's the what is it? Actually, I should probably just ask. Can you explain what's the mailgun domain? What should it include? Is it the email domain or the address for the API? Actually, added a file. Okay, cool. So let's see. I was just going to continue setting up. Can't remember. So cursor. Okay, we can now browse the entire project. Keep it there. Install dependencies. We're nearly there. Okay, I think I know what it wants. Okay. Okay, so the domain is the email sending domain. Cool. So this is not what I did. So now if we go to Notion, so we've done this, we've done this. If we go to Notion, we've got it here. That I think I'm starting to regret my choice. It's kind of confusing email. Okay. Without disclosing the content, can you update the .env? We have mailgun domain set to this. I hope it doesn't just disclose by opening it. It does. Oh well, I'll be changing the keys later. Great. I only thought about it after. Was incorrectly said. Yeah, okay. So clear. Okay. Okay, so we're going to compact the conversation. We're going to start coding. So now it knows everything it's been doing. Great. You know what? I'm going to reset it now. While it's compacting. So, what we're going to do now? Okay. Still going. That is impressive. Compact summary. Okay. So that's done. I just need the new API key and we're good. So today is 17 June. Did it disclose? Yes, it disclosed everything. Okay. And now I need an Anthropic API key as well. Okay. So which one is that? So we're going to disable that. Cool. Okay, it's getting hot in here. I need to go soon. Okay, we're back in the game. Those keys don't work anymore. Sorry for the delay. Let's continue. Okay, so let's start developing the application. So I want something that can receive. Has a. Sorry. Let's start developing the application and keep it simple. We want a webhook that can take emails from Mailgun. So figure out in their documentation what the format will be. We want the JSON format on their webhook from the router. And also named, let's see. So it's here receiving, and then we'll be doing the sending, but it's like this. Yeah, with the store and notify option. For now, we want to then send a simple hello world response. I wonder if the API allows us to set the... Okay. Oops. Okay, let's do it. I mean, come on, this is unbelievable. Okay, so take that out. Okay, copied. Okay, so now I'm going to copy something else. So we're good. We're going to clear, and we're going to copy this again. You can see, but I'm just copying rubbish. Okay, we should be good. Okay, so if you can find out if we can set up the store and notify address so that we can run ngrok on our project and set automatically in mailgun to our local development. I'm not sure if this is clear explanation or not. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to it's going to research. It's going to create the fast API webhook, and it's going to set up the webhook signature validation. Configure in Grok. Yeah. Allow to fetch this. Yep, that's it. Request failed. Cool. Getting more excited. So we may have something running later on. Okay, so apparently I need to go for dinner very, very soon. Let's see how far we get. So if you think about it, we're already at a similar stage as we were maybe on the third, no, maybe second parts of the previous iterations. Obviously, we already know how Mailgun works now, etc. Today, so I keep going back into setting up stuff. So today we were setting up Claude Code and all that, but I feel like now we are going to be on track to do this quicker. And the cool thing about it is I likely want to be live, doing live of everything, because I plan to actually just leave it doing stuff. And what we're going to be doing from now on is to set up lots of business experiments and like automations and potential products. This to me is right now the best idea. So we're going to be testing it, but we're going to be doing other things at the same time in other experiments. As I mentioned in the beginning of the live, I have this other project I've been looking into. Where is it? This. I'm proud with the name. I should probably, you know what? Let's do a little editing. There you go. Let's commit some changes. Better title. Whoop. Okay. So yeah, we've got this, and we're going to be doing something. We're going to extend. So this is a very simple debate system. It's very cool. I think the answers come out okay, but we're going to make it a bit more involved. We're going to call it artificial game theory. So we're going to be using it to test, or similar projects to test game theory with AIs. And the first thing we're going to do is to let them debate and then vote on the best candidate answers and with a ranking system. And then once one of the answers achieves a certain threshold, we stop and we go into a judge, which will consider all the answers, but will give more weight to the higher ranked ones, and then comes up with the final answer. So we're going to test those things, and or what if we actually ignore all the other ones, just the top one, etc. We're going to be doing that, and we're going to figure out how to measure those outcomes. So that's actually something I need to learn better myself. But we're going to try and create this program in a way that we can interface from an evaluator, and then we're going to create something that evaluates this and figure out what kinds of problems we can solve better than just Anthropic itself. Okay, so we can take this out. Maybe we should check if it is stuck. No, it's still there. Although it has been going for a while on that. Yeah. Actually, we should probably make sure it's not. make sure you understand how email works and what fields we get from Mailgun and how to reply in threading and validate the identity of the sender. We also make sure that if anyone's spoofing an address, we always reply to the real address. So now it's queuing the message. So today we also got Max running. So now we have a proper expensive setup. I mean, I was spending money every time I was coding, so now it's fixed price, so I guess that's better. One thing we're going to continue doing moving forward, and with those small experiments, is to think of ways to set up code for Claude Code and Cursor, etc., so that we can provide data or state that should pass every test, so that basically a state of an application that we expect to be correct and for it to work correctly, and constraints in English. And then the idea is to come up with the application development that, given those two things and the requirements for the project, that it can iterate and improve itself and validate to an extent that the program is correct without us having to touch code. So let's see. We're going to start treating LLMs or Claude Code as a compiler and then not care about the result. I know. Some people won't like that idea, but I would like to try. So, okay, so it's writing. So it's creating something. We go here to cursor. One thing it is not doing is committing stuff, right? Don't forget to commit. Yeah. Press up. Like this. Okay. Don't forget to commit. I guess maybe it should. Cool. So far seems to be progressing, but we need to get as close, as fast as possible to something we can try. Ah, look. Maybe this might work. We may get an environment where it can test itself. Huh? Why is it not showing the same message? Hmm. Q. No. Okay, now let's create the readme with instructions. So far, so good. Let's see how this is looking. Set up local dev. Okay, that's tend to look good. Wow. Interesting. We want to use Pydantic as well, so that's the other thing we're going to ask. What's this? Update the readme. Okay. This is pretty awesome, I must say. Yeah, why not? Yep. Okay. While it's doing that, should we set up a project? No, not now. GitHub project. This is pretty cool. I mean, soon using Wordware to manage the support of the business and the business. Using this, I mean, we'll be able to just create a few businesses that at least the basics are mostly automated so that we can test different ideas, and then whatever adds value to people, then that's where we spend the effort. Although I like the personal touch, but then we can spend, the extra time doing the personal touch as opposed to this. Because if I'm only a single person with a full-time job, it's hard to have a personal touch if I need to do everything. Okay, webhook endpoint, boom, there you go. UV run, okay, cool. So now what do we want to do next? Yeah. Use Pydantic to manage data classes and Pydantic AI to manage prompts and LLM APIs. Yep. Project. There you go. Okay, so memory updated. Actually, memory. Ah, cool. So it opens a little window with the memory. Okay, cool. So now if we go to cursor, this is all committed. We've got this. Everything seems nice. Can I do a review? Okay. Can you do a review across a project to make sure everything looks good and that the code is well structured and high quality? And if you have a chance and if you think it will add any value, add Pydantic to manage the data classes, but only if it adds value. Otherwise, please let me know. Let's go with that. Boop, boop. Okay. Once you're done, let's test and make sure it's running. We want to see that hello world happening. Cool. So now I've got Claude, like the Mega Claude. Let's see, do I? Yep. That's cool. I really like Claude. The other day, so actually this is an interesting one. I recommend everyone does. So if you use Claude, the app, connect Gmail to it. If you use Gmail as well, connect email if you can, and then ask it to go to as far back in the past as possible. Maybe ask it to focus on a specific person that you have a personal relationship with, that you have like a certain, you're more open in your communication style. Then ask to go as far back in the past. So for me, it's quite a long time. Then to go maybe if possible, let's say a decade ago, 5 years ago, and recently, like this year or so, and to look at your communication style and explain to you what's your communication style and how it has evolved over time. And I was quite surprised with the answer. And obviously I've changed a fair bit, but one thing is I convinced myself that I was never like the kind of young unprofessional on my emails, and that's not true. Apparently I was not the most professional emailer in the beginning. I mean, I had to learn like a new language and all that, but yeah, it's interesting. My ideas were also quite different. My thought process, let's just say. Maybe I should clip this and put a clip out there. So review project structure and code quality. I need to figure out like what to do in the streams while Claude is coding. So we leave it coding. We have fun. We need to start doing maybe more like fun things. I need to come up with a list of stuff to put in, like a list of things for us to check. Maybe, you know, that has open AI announced anything today. Let's go with that. And then also, has Anthropic announced anything today? Has Anthropic. No, that's not Anthropic. Newsroom. No. Okay. Nope. I wonder what this will be. Codex is also interesting. So I've been thinking that, at least at work, the way I've been using it is Codex for fixing small bugs. Just leave it fixing, and then we create PRs. And then Claude Code is for the main code. And I think that works well. So we'll want to put this in GitHub as soon as possible. Okay. Although I probably could just use Claude Code for everything. Also need to redo my thumbnail. Yeah, that's the other thing we could do. So while Claude Code works, maybe you could see me optimize other parts of this. Maybe like thumbnails. No, is that? No, that's not fun. But yeah, doing other stuff. We're creating a business. There's a lot to the business, a lot more than coding. Okay. Now this is already using Pydantic. Cool. Let's see what's happening. No, this is not Pydantic. Yeah. Where put the data? Where is it? Ah, there you go. Oh yeah, it is using, yeah. Just created the models folder. And validates. Yep, good. Okay, so. Using CPython, why? Okay, it's going to go through Mailgun. I want the hello world. Let's get to the hello world as fast as possible. We just want to confirm that the data is going through, and then we can continue optimizing the code. There you go. And I also need there. Okay, so the cool thing about this now, I think we're going to end now. Yeah, it's pretty late. So the cool thing about this is we can leave it run. Now I can have dinner, and my application is being done. And maybe it doesn't make sense to do everything live. Oh, it's using requests. We want to wait a second. We want the application code to be as non-blocking as possible. Keep in mind that Mailgun webhooks need to return quickly. So we may need to figure out how to solve that. Oh, yeah. It's not working. It's not working. Okay, so where were we? Carol, oh wow. Everything's coming at the same time. Is it working? Gosh. Yeah, why not? So it's a long-running process. I don't know if that's going to get it confused or not. Seems like you can run it anyway. So it's pretty cool. Oh yeah, it's running in the background. So this little ampersand there. Hopefully knows how to kill it. Okay, so where was I? I was saying that now the cool thing is we don't need to do everything live, but we're going to be seeing the progress in the journey from going to the idea to business, setting up payments, setting up a bunch of things like this. And hopefully we can also focus more on the process of how to use Claude Code effectively, as opposed to like every single little change. It doesn't actually matter. As I said, if you have the same requirements, data that shows how to test like certain conditions, edge cases, etc., and then the constraints explained somewhere, I think that's my hypothesis, is that with that alone, we can develop the entire application and iterate on it to make it better. And we're going to be treating Claude Code as our compiler, so we're not even going to be always looking at how the code looks, other than, I mean, we're going to do some vibe check, and the idea for that is if it starts getting too complicated, it's very likely that, like a human, Claude will get confused later. So we want to keep complexity lower. But even that, ideally, we would automate at some point. There's these programs that measure complexity of a program. Maybe we just use it as well. We'll see. Oh, this is not using an virtual environment. Is it? No, it is. It is. Yeah. With UV. Okay, cool. It's there. Okay, so is it running? It is running, but it seems to be doing something. I hope I'm not going to run out of credits from it just looping. Status, healthy, environment. Okay, so it's using that. Cool. So it's killing the process. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do again is to compact. Oh, yep. Keep some details on what has been done so far and what we were going to do next, and how to test it, and what tests were made. Okay, so while it's compacting, what we're going to do now is what? What did we say that it was not using or something? Can't remember. Okay. So another thing we can now do, so we can close this, put the dashboard here. Routes. So we want to see ngrok running. Every so often, test with ngrok and using actual mailgun, send an email to the bots at that AI thing and confirm it is received. I guess I cannot use the memory while it is doing something else. Doesn't let me queue it. Okay, so we're going to end here today. So we did well. We set up the Claude Code for this. We started again. We're nearly back to the same place we were on the other sessions. So this, to me, I think is already good proof that it's a good direction, because we took like six parts to just get to this point. Although it's a bit an unfair comparison, because I was learning how to use Mailgun and a few other things, and now we know, so it makes it more efficient. But anyway, so and the goal now is for me to continue running some of these things. Oh, there you go. The goal now is for me to just leave it develop itself, and then we maybe pick like interesting bits to show live, and we can experiment. And then we're also going to look at how to automate the company itself using Wordware. And yeah, I mean, hopefully next time we get the thing actually running and deployed. So yeah, deployment will definitely happen. And I'm also going to be running the experiment with the voting system for the other project I was working on for the debate system. And yeah, and also I know lots of things at the same time, but I'm also developing a Roblox game with my daughter. So I won't be doing that live, but I'll be putting some clips. So if you arrived here now, or if you don't yet subscribe, please do press the subscribe if you're interested in seeing like different types of projects happening. Yeah, so this was interesting. So now I need to go for dinner. What's the task? I'm going to let it run. Figure out if you can set the ngrok and local endpoints directly in Mailgun so that you can test end-to-end with Mailgun live while running locally. Yeah. If that works, test it with a hello world, and then let's use Pydantic AI and start coding our AI to process emails. Consider that emails have a lot of detail about the thread and characters, etc. We want to save on the tokens, so discard anything that is not needed. And for now, let's not yet care about attachments. Let's just process the text, but make sure that we can keep an entire conversation. That's it. That's what we're going to do. Bam. Then I'll test it or something. Okay, anyway, so I'll see you Thursday for something, and we'll see which project we're going to do. I'll schedule it later. Today, I mean, if you've been watching, please let me know if you like this type of thing or not. It's yeah, for me, it's like very new. So I'm quite interested on these kinds of things. And again, I want to get to a point where we're setting up a good environment, and it's very clear how to be extremely effective with Claude Code. Let's push the envelope there. And I'll see you soon. Okay.